Good. So happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and begin by getting centered. Place it comfortably. You can have your legs crossed. You can extend them forward, just whatever you need to be comfortable for a few minutes in a seat. Feeling your shoulders relax down your back and the crown of the head lift. And if it's okay with you, go ahead and close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in and out. And if that felt good, do it again. Deep breath. And as you are settling in, starting to turn off the outside world, tuning in to whatever's going on inside here, notice what's going on inside of here. What's going on in your body today? How does it feel to be in this body today? Is there discomfort or pain? Is there also comfort and softness, ease? Maybe areas of the body that don't really feel like much of anything. They're just doing their thing. As you're aware of how you're feeling in this body, like, is there an energetic component to that? Do you feel tired or exhausted? Do you feel overwhelmed or restless? Maybe both, maybe several. Maybe also there's still a part of you that's calm and grounded already, that already feels the way that you want to feel. And how's the mind as well? Checking in. How is the mind today? Is it frenetic? Is it holding on to anxiety and stress? Does it feel relieved about something? Does it feel calm? Again, it might be several of these at once, and all experiences are welcome, even if they feel contradictory. How does it feel to just be in this moment? Body, energy, mind, and whatever experience you're having, or experiences, plural, we can let this practice help serve all of that. If relief is needed, we can bring relief. If support is needed, we can bring support. If there's already comfort and ease, we can expand that. But letting that be our intention. Taking a deeper, fuller breath, bring your palms together and bow the chin. Again, honoring yourself as you are and letting this practice be in service of that. So rubbing the palms together. Take the heated palms over your eyes and brushing over the top of your head, down your neck, bringing yourself on back after we did that little check-in. And let's do some movement. So moving your props off to the side if you have any, and we're gonna come to lay down on our backs. Laying down, feeling what that feels like to lay down. Might be a welcomed experience, depending on what kind of day you've had. And then I'm gonna ask you to bring your feet flat to the floor. And this is where we'll start from. I'm gonna move our feet around from here. So you're gonna take your feet as wide apart as your yoga mat, and then step your feet about 6 inches further away from your hips, down your mat, so away from your body. And so your feet are mat width apart and a little bit further away from your hips than you have for bridge pose. Your arms can relax out to the sides. And then with an inhale, go ahead and drop the knees to your left. With your exhale, ground your lower back and bring the knees back to center. And then inhale, drop the knees to the right. Exhale, bring the knees back to center. Again, grounding the lower back to the floor to help that movement along. Then inhale to the left. Exhale back. Inhale right. And exhale back. And then just keep going on your breath. Inhaling to a side, exhaling to center, just starting to loosen up the hips, starting to stretch the iliopsoas muscle, which is this big wraparound muscle on each side of the body. Kind of wraps from the lower back around and down into the groin. Inhaling to a side, exhaling to center. And if you'd like to, you can turn the head away from the knees. So if the knees fall to the left, the chin goes to the right, just warming up the neck a little bit here. And this can be a slower movement if you'd like. This can be a quicker movement if you like, but we're just getting warmed up. The only thing I'll mention here as far as alignment goes is just to make sure you keep the feet mat width apart. Loosening up these hips, going just a little bit further. And though I personally feel like I could just do this for another 20 minutes, we are going to move along. So the next time you bring the knees back to center, go ahead and hug them in. And then keeping your right knee drawn into your chest, go ahead and extend your left leg all the way down to the floor. Flex both feet, pull the toes back, and feel a gentle stretch in your hip. Good. And then we're going to just do a little bit more here to get these legs nice and warmed up. So please hold behind your right thigh with both hands. With your next inhale, extend your right leg toward the ceiling, pulling the toes back. And then exhale, bring the knee back into your chest. Then inhale, extend the leg up. And then exhale, bend the knee, bring it back in. And do that several more times on your breath, really reaching through the right heel as you inhale, bringing that knee back into the chest as you exhale. Warming up the legs, giving some length to the hamstrings. That's the backs of your legs. Good. One more time. And then exhale, bring the knee in. Keep holding behind the right thigh with the right hand. Your left hand can rest on top of your left waist. And then just go ahead and draw the right knee out to the side. Now, when you do that, the left hip is going to want to pop up off the floor. So you have to engage the core on the left side to keep that left hip grounded. Good. Now we're going to keep the right knee out to the side. With your inhale, extend the leg, reaching through the heel. Then exhale, just bend the knee. Again, keeping it out to the side. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bend. Keep the left hip grounded. Keep going a few more breaths. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. We'll do two more. And then exhale, bring the knee back to center. We're going to do one more exercise on this side that I promise will balance this out. You're going to take your left knee into your right knee. Your right knee is drawn in. You're going to hold on to your right knee with your left hand, opposite arm, opposite leg. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, with the left hand, draw the right knee across the body, coming into a twist. Think about rooting or grounding your right shoulder back down, and maybe even turning the chin to the right here. Good. All right. Inhale, unwind, and extend the right leg down. Good. Now we did 3 exercises on that first side, so just notice if there is a difference in sensation between these two sides. And not just the legs or the hips, but the upper body as well. And then we'll go ahead and balance it out. So go ahead and bring your left knee into the chest. Just hold on to the knee for a moment, flex both feet, and feel this gentle stretch in your hip. And then we'll add on some movement here. So holding behind the thigh with both hands. With your inhale, extend the left leg toward the ceiling, pull the toes back, exhale, knee to chest, and continue that movement, reaching through the heel to feel the back of the leg lengthening. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. Just a few more times. Good. Now, as you exhale, bend the knee into your chest. Keep holding behind the left knee with the left hand. Bring your right hand onto your right waist. And this is just reminding this right hip to stay on the floor. And then draw the left knee out to the left. Again, keep the right hip grounded. And then inhale, extend the left leg out to the left. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Keep going. Feel the right waist activated, the right core activated to keep that hip on the ground as much as possible. Twice more. Good. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it back to center. Switch hands, bring the right hand on top of the left knee. With an exhale, draw that knee across the body toward the floor on the right side. Anchor or root your left shoulder back behind you, and you might even want to turn your chin to the left as well. And breathe. One more breath. And with your next inhale, carefully unwind back to center. Extend the left leg down for a moment. Feel what's going on in here. Good. So moving along, go ahead and bend both knees. Bring your feet flat to the floor, prepping for bridge pose. So the heels stack underneath the knees and the feet are about mat width apart. Good. So from here, go ahead and lift your arms all the way up and overhead, knuckles touching the floor above you. And then exhale, release the arms back down to your sides. Inhale, lift the arms up again, all the way overhead, full range of motion. Exhale, back down. One more time with just the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then let's keep the arms moving. Let's add the hips. Arms lift, hips lift. Inhale, pressing the pelvis toward the ceiling. Exhale, release the arms and hips back down. And keep going. Inhale, arms and hips lift. Exhale, down. Try to keep both feet flat on the floor the entire time. Lifting up, lowering down. And we'll go for just a few more rounds, helping to warm up the spine here, creating little bit of length in the front of your body. Last one, inhale, roll up. And exhale, come back down. Take an adjusting breath. So we're going to keep doing some poses here on the ground. So keep your left foot where it's at right now, left knee bent, and then cross your right ankle, center of the left thigh. Right ankle crossing center of the left thigh, and then flex the foot on the right leg. This is going to help to protect the ankle and the knee joints, which are pretty important. So keep that foot flexed. Your arms can stay down by your side for this, but we're going to come into one leg bridge. So with your next inhale, pick up the hips, reach your pelvis up as high as you can, which might not be as high as bridge pose. Exhale, release the hips down. Let's do that again. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, releasing down, and do a few more on your breath. Activating strongly through this left side, the left glute, the left lower back. Two more. Good. Then exhale, release the hips on down. Keep the leg crossed where it's at. And then draw the left knee in toward your chest. Now, your right hand can reach between your legs, and then you can hold behind the left thigh with both hands. Now, don't yank the left knee into your chest here. Just kind of guide it forward. And when you reach that point that you feel the stretch, just hold it there and please breathe. The hips don't like to be rushed, so don't force it. Notice where you feel tension. It's probably somewhere along your right glute. You can ask it to relax if you want to. Sometimes talking to the body helps. And one more breath here. And don't drop the left leg. Carefully bring that left foot back to the floor. And we'll do just one more exercise here before we switch and do the other side. So keeping the right ankle center of the left thigh, you're just going to drop your hips to the left. Just drop them to the left. And what might happen is your right foot comes flat to the floor here. Just do your best. And then think about guiding the right knee away from your body. You can actually do that with your left hand if you want to. And it just opens up the hip on the right side a little bit here. Good. Carefully come back, unwind, and then uncross. Might feel good to extend the right leg down or the left leg down, maybe both. But we will be doing the other side. So when you are ready, go ahead and bring the feet flat to the floor again, heels underneath the knees. And then keep the right foot where it's at, right knee where it's at, cross the left ankle center of the right thigh, pull the toes back, flexing that foot to protect the joints. And we'll go in and out of one-legged bridge a couple times. So with your next inhale, please lift the hips into the air and exhale, bring it down. Please keep going. Activating strongly through this right side, the right glute, the right lower back. You might notice as you do the second side that this side feels tighter or easier. Either experience is fine to be having right now. Doesn't mean that one is good or bad. It's just the way it is. Let's do a couple more, all right? Good. Pressing up one more time. And exhale, slowly bringing the hips back down. Again, keep the ankle crossed where it's at. And this time, bring the right knee into your chest. Keep the left foot flexed. You can reach between the legs with the left hand, and with both hands, you can hold behind the right thigh. Again, don't yank it in, just bring it to the point where you start to feel the stretch and breathe at that point. Whatever is there in this hip, breathe to it. You might be feeling this most in your left hip, your left glute. You might just ask that glute to relax a bit, to soften back, to not grip so much. Just a few more breaths. Again, we're holding this a bit longer because it just takes a bit longer for the hips to relax. Last breath. And then don't drop the leg, just bring it slowly to the floor. Keep the ankle crossed for one more exercise. You're just going to rock the hips to the right, which might bring the left foot flat to the floor. And think about bracing away your left knee. And you can do that with the right hand if you want to. And it just creates a little bit of space on the left hip. All right. When you're ready, please go ahead and unwind and uncross. Good. Again, you might want to extend one or both legs down. And believe it or not, there's still another posture I want us to do here while we're here on our backs. So this time I'll ask you to bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly and have the pinky edge of the feet resting on the ground and as close up to the groin as you can manage. Okay, and that'll look different in different bodies. So just do the best you can. Your arms can relax down by your side and we'll do butterfly bridge. And so keeping the feet together, press the pinky edge of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift the hips, coming into butterfly bridge. Then exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower down. Good. We're going to keep going in and out. And I want you to notice something as you lift and lower, and that is because we have asymmetrical muscle definition throughout our whole body, especially in our hips, you might find that one hip is overcompensating to lift up. So if you find that like your right hip is more developed, you might lean to the left a little bit. You have to reactivate the left side a bit to make it the smooth up and down transition. So allow that stabilization to be there. You might have to back off on how much you're engaging on the right side to allow the left side to catch up, or vice versa, depending on which one is the lesser developed side. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's do a couple more. Your lower back loves this. Good. Go ahead and lift up to your highest point and stay. and breathe. Let the knees fall wide. Again, you'll have to kind of work just with the hips to keep the hips steady and stable so that you're not leaning or falling to one side or the other, or that you're not wobbling. There's some engagement of the lower back here as well. And hopefully you're breathing. If not, just add it back in. Press up to your highest point, inhale. And then exhale slowly, stably lower the hips on down. Now, keeping the soles of the feet together, if you can, go ahead and pick them up and bring them in toward your belly. And you can hold on to the ankles here, the shins. Some of you might be able to hold on to the pinky edge of the feet. And just draw them in for this forward fold. And breathe. Good. All right. So go ahead and release the feet. Bring the knees together. And we're going to carefully roll to the right side and come up onto hands and knees. Table pose. Coming up off the ground a little bit. And a great pose to do after what we've done so far is downward facing dog. So go ahead and curl the toes under and lift the hips. Good. Now, as we're here, I'd like you to feel some extension in your spine. So bend the knees a bit more than you normally do and powerfully shoot the hips toward the sky behind you. And take some deep breaths into that length I was mentioning, the spine elongating. Beautiful. With your next inhale, float gently back down onto hands and knees, and this time do a chest press. Bend your elbows in towards your waist, bring your heart down, then release your hips back, coming on to your belly. We're back on the ground. And we're gonna do some work here as well. So with the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows bending in and squeezing in towards your sides. With your next inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, lift your heart and head, coming into Cobra pose. Exhale, release down. It's good to mention in Cobra pose, the elbows stay bent. This time we'll come into locust pose. So roll the shoulders down the back, lift the heart, head, but also the legs behind you. Exhale, release down. Keep the legs on the floor. We'll come back into Cobra. Just lift the head and chest, inhale. And exhale, come down. Adding the legs back in, locust pose, inhale. Squeeze the elbows in as you lift. And exhale down. Keep the legs on the ground. Just lift the head and chest, Cobra, inhale. And exhale, float down. Bring those legs back in. Inhale, locust, head, chest, and legs. And exhale down. 2 more times for both postures. Cobra, inhale. And down. Locust, inhale. And down. Cobra pose. And stay. Keep breathing. Take the shoulders down the back. Heart is looking forward, head is looking forward. Elbows are squeezing into your sides. The elbows stay bent here. Inhale and exhale, float down. Take an adjusting breath. All right, locust pose. Roll the shoulders down the back, lift the head, chest, and legs. And hold for about 5 breaths total. Squeeze at the inner thighs, shoulder blades working toward one another, heart is looking forward, and you're breathing. Deep breath in and exhale. Slowly release down. You can turn the head to a side if you'd like here. Good, all right. So from where you're at, go ahead and walk up onto your elbows. Sphinx pose, as it's called sometimes. And just to establish this posture, you're going to have your forearms and your palms flat on the floor. Press them into the floor, pull the heart away from the ground, take the shoulders down the back, and look forward. There's a slight extension of the belly here, as if the navel is trying to reach toward the space in front of you. And while we're here, why not do something for the legs? So go ahead and bend your left knee. Bring that foot on into your seat. Cross your right arm in front of you to keep you lifted as much as possible. Then with your left hand, reach back and grab the base of your toes. Not the ankle, not the foot, but the base of the toes. Now, once you have that connection, your left hip is going to want to pop up off the floor. So that before you do anything else, roll that left hip bone down and then begin to draw the left heel in toward the left seat. And you'll feel a nice big stretch on the front of the left thigh. And you breathe into that stretch. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now it's tempting here to slingshot that left foot to the floor. I'm going to ask you not to do that. I'm going to ask you to slowly release it and bring that left foot down, feeling sensation as you do so. Okay, let's see what side number 2 feels like. Cross your left arm in front of you this time. Bend your right knee, bringing that right foot into the hip. Reach back and grab again the base of the toes. As you make that connection, your right hip wants to pop up. Don't let it. Roll it back down. And then bend, bring the right heel in toward the right hip. And again, there might be a big stretch in the front of the right thigh. Breathe into that stretch. Again, keep the right hip grounded. Notice what emotions come up as you stretch your quadricep, the top of the thigh. Sometimes it's feelings like anger and agitation. Just smile to that reaction if you have that come up. I know that because that happens to me sometimes. Good. Now don't slingshot it. Carefully release that right foot to the floor. And you're going to cross your arms in front of you and bring the forehead to the back of the arms or hands. And once you're there, bend both knees, the soles of the feet pointing toward the ceiling, and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side, the legs from side to side, letting it be a loose movement all the way up into the hip socket. This helps to relieve tension in the lower back and tightness in the hips. And breathe as you do this. We're going to go for just a little bit longer. Good. Then go ahead and relax those legs on down and slide the hands back underneath your shoulders. And then curl the toes under. Go ahead and push up to hands and knees. And then lift back up into downward facing dog. And just like when we came into down dog the first time, I'd really like you to feel some length in your spine here. So bend both knees a bit more than you normally do. Powerfully shoot the hips toward the ceiling behind you. Feel that length. Take some deep breaths into that length. Good. And then when you're ready, float back down onto hands and knees, and let's recline back into child's pose. Seat to the heels, forehead to the floor. Now, if you're feeling like there's still some aggravation in your lower back, which we'll do a bit more for tonight, but if you need some relief now, you can walk your hands a bit further forward. And then think about sinking your hips toward your heels. That just gives you a nice stretch throughout the entire back. But if you're, especially if you're grounding the tailbone down, you might feel a stretch in that low back area. All right, go ahead and walk your hands back, coming up to a seat for a moment. Feel sensation as you do that. So our theme for tonight's class is just grounding in general, working with the lower body, especially to help feel connected and then maybe even help us to rest when the time comes. Another way to do that, to help with that grounding effort, if you will, or intention, is to bring some slight pressure to the top of the head. So I've taught this before here, but I'll teach it again. And it's called rabbit pose. And I like to demonstrate it. It's a rather simple posture or exercise, but there's something I don't want you to do in it. So we demonstrated to show you what not to do. So adjusting the headset so I can actually do this. So you start off in child's pose, and again, you can watch me first. And I'm going to bring the top of my forehead or the hairline to the floor. Now, I'm not going to effort my shoulders or my neck at all. I'm just going to lift and lower the hips. So what that looks like is lifting the hips, rolling to the top of the head, and then lowering the hips down, coming back to the top of the forehead or hairline. Rolling forward, and rolling back. I'm going to move my left arm just so you can see that the head stays on the floor the entire time. I'm not lifting and shifting it around. It just stays grounded. And we're getting this nice big stretch in the back of the neck. Now, what I don't want you to do here is to go further than the top of the head. You're going to go here and stop. Don't keep going. To be honest, if you do, it'll be an amazing stretch and you'll love it, but you'll overstrain the neck and you won't be able to turn your head for a few days. So we're going to stay where we can. We're not going to go for that big stretch right now, but you'll still get a good relief out of it. And we're just going to move in and out for a little while. Okay. So please join me in child's pose. Again, forearms relaxing down. Bring the top of the head or top of the forehead, sorry, or the hairline to the floor. And again, the arms, you're not really efforting there. They're just helping to stabilize. Lift the hips, rock and roll to the top of the head, and then release the hips down, coming back to the hairline. I like to inhale as I rock forward and exhale as I release back. And just keep going on your own, massaging the top of the head into the ground. And every time we rock forward and back, we're just helping to coax out tension from the neck. If you're a jaw clencher, this is amazing for you. If you suffer from tension headaches, this may be a good exercise for you to help relieve some of that tension that builds up. Or if you just like it, it's a good one for you. If you're just vibing with it, you're like, this feels really good. Keep going. And we're going to keep practicing this for about another minute or so. And I'll give you the option to keep moving in and out if you're really liking this. Or if you'd like to, you can hold the pose, stopping at the top of the head and just breathing there. There's no wrong answer. Pick your practice. Good. Now, with your next exhale coming to child's pose, go ahead and stay in child's pose. Feel sensation as you rest here. What's going on? Good. So take your time, but when you're ready, please come up to a seat. And this time I'll have you bring your legs out in front of you. I love that we can do a whole yoga class without really standing up. I don't count down dog in this one as standing up. Good. So the legs are extended forward. You go ahead and bring your right knee into your chest. With your right knee drawn in, it's your right hand. Same knee, same hand, right behind your spine. We're going to come into a twist. With your inhale, lift the left arm up. Feel some length in the front of the body. With your exhale, sweep that arm across, hook the knee, and twist, looking over your right shoulder. Now, as you stay in the pose, sit up a bit taller, lift the heart, and then exhale, roll the shoulder back a little bit more. Twist, twist, twist. You might even feel the navel pull into the body and twist with you to the right. Good. Inhale carefully, unwind. Go ahead and extend that right leg down. Go ahead and bring the left knee in. We're just going to switch sides. The left knee is in, it's the left hand behind the back. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, sweep that arm across, hook the knee and twist, rolling the left shoulder back. Twist, twist, twist. And again, we're staying in the pose. Sit up a bit taller. Inhale. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back just a bit more, feeling the navel pull into the body and twist with you to the left. Good. All right. Inhale carefully. Unwind back to center. Good. And extend both legs forward now. Actually, I changed my mind. Bring the feet flat to the floor. Bring your hands behind you to stabilize you. And you're going to have the feet about mat width apart again. Again, the hands are just behind you, kind of leaning, but you're not collapsing. Try to keep the heart lifting, okay? And you're just going to rock the knees from side to side here. This is similar to an exercise we did at the beginning when we were on our backs, but we're just a little more elevated now. from side to side. And breathing as you move. There's no prescribed breathing rhythm for this one. Just make sure that you're still with us here. And keep the feet mat width apart, loosening up, any tension you might feel in the lower back, maybe in the hips still. A few more times from side to side. This is also kind of a massage for the glutes. So just, if you're enjoying that, just keep enjoying that. So personally, again, I could keep doing this for another 10 to 20 minutes without stopping, but we do have just a little bit more to do. And I also want to give you a nice long rest tonight. So go ahead and bring the knees back to center and extend the legs forward. Now we'll do what we were going to do beforehand. So sitting tall, and you can even sit on a folded blanket if you'd like to. You can point the toes toward the ceiling, lift the arms up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lead with your heart, hinge at the hips, and bring yourself about halfway forward. Then inhale back up. Exhale, folding down again. Inhale back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Fold. Lift, last one. This time, fold to your furthest point. Bring the hands down onto the legs or the floor next to your legs. Don't worry about grabbing the feet. We're not trying to stretch the shoulders here. I'm trying to stretch the lower back, so no need to overextend. And let your chin drop in towards your throat slightly, the back of the neck lengthening or just kind of extending. And breathe. Feeling the flow of breath come in, feeling the flow of breath move out. And as you hold this pose for a little while longer, I'd like you to become aware of the points of contact your body is making with the floor in this posture. The heels, the backs of the legs, and especially your hips. We've done a lot for the hips tonight to open them up, to help them feel grounded and supported and unstuck. Feel that support here as you fold. And just another breath or two here in this forward fold. And then inhale, carefully bring yourself back up to a seat. Pause once you sit back up and just feel sensation. What's going on in here? It might feel like a grounding, like almost like energy is moving down. It might feel like a fatigue or a tiredness. Again, you might feel stable and rooted. And when you feel ready, go ahead and recline down onto your back and we'll come to rest for a few minutes. Now, because we did quite a bit for the lower back and for the hips, you might need one more posture before you're able to relax. Maybe it's hugging your knees into your chest. It might feel like you need a back bend. Maybe you need to come into bridge pose for a moment. Just take the next few moments to answer the question, do I need anything else before I rest? And you might be ready already. And if that's the case, just come to lie down. And letting yourself come to a comfortable resting posture on your back. Oh, and feel your body uncross, the toes falling away from one another, your arms resting to your sides, and your jaw relaxed. Soften the space behind your eyes. There's nothing to look at. And bring a sense of ease to your belly. Let go of any clenching or holding, any gripping in the belly. Just let it be open. Let it be soft. And as you do that, you might start to be aware of the breath moving in your belly. The navel rising as you inhale, the navel falling gently as you exhale. And just watch that rise and fall of the navel. It's almost as if you could set your mind right on top of the abdomen, letting your consciousness ride the wave of your breath. Rising inhale, falling, releasing exhale. And when your mind drifts away from that meditation, just bring it back, rising and falling, deeper into rest. peace, peace, peace. Please begin to take a deeper, fuller breath and make some gentle movements. The hands and feet, the arms and legs. Take your time as you roll to your right side. And coming up to a comfortable seat as you feel ready. And bringing the palms together at your heart, go ahead and lower the chin and honor yourself for all of this work you've done here tonight, all that stretching, all that strengthening, all of that grounding. And may all of that effort and this practice, may it all continue to serve you. And so until next time, namaste.